Hi stats students, I wanted to make a quick video to show you some graphing calculator basics for the TI-84. This video is probably for those students who've never used a graphing calculator before, because I'm going to go over really easy things that might help you as you try to learn how to use this. So the first thing I want to do is show you guys how to turn it on and off. And if you see in the lower left corner there's an on button, and right above it in blue you'll see the word off. Anytime you want to access something in blue that's written above a button, you need to push second before that. Okay, so if I push on, you'll see that you should have a bunch of stuff on your screen. And this is stuff I was playing around with before. So if I want to clear the screen, there's a button here called clear, and that'll get you there. Now let's say you're all done and you want to turn it off. So remember, we're going to press second and then on to turn it off. So here we go. Second, on, and then you'll see that everything's turned off. Okay, so the next thing I want to do is show you how to type in negative numbers. So on your calculator, near the bottom right, there's a little negative sign in parentheses, and that's what you want to use to enter negative numbers. So let's say I wanted to type in like -2 plus -3. So I'm going to say -2 plus -3. And then if you want to see the screen, oh, I didn't turn it on. Let's try that again. Turn it on. -2 plus -3. And if I hit enter, you'll see up here that it looks like negative numbers. I know some students try to use the subtraction or minus symbol to do negative numbers, and that will give you an error message. All right, so next, how would you turn a decimal into a fraction or vice versa? Okay, so let's say you had a fraction like 4/5 that you wanted to enter. So 4/5, you would press 4 divided by 5, and if you hit enter, let's see what you would get. 4/5 equals 0.8, but let's say I want to change that back to a fraction. There is a cool feature if you hit math, okay, up here, the very first thing that's highlighted, it says is to switch it to a fraction. So I'm going to hit enter on that, and so it'll take your answer and change it back to a fraction, and it goes to 4/5. So if you want to add fractions together and you know how to do it, but it takes a little while, graphing calculator can do it for you pretty easily. So let's say I wanted to add 7/8 plus 5/9 or something like that. Okay. So 7/8 plus 5/9. If you hit enter normally, you'll get some decimal, but if you want to change it to a fraction, again, press math, and then hit enter, enter one more time, and it changes it to a fraction for you. All right, next I want to show you how to enter powers like exponents and also square roots. So let's say I'm going to do something like 5 squared. So there is an x squared button right here. So you can just press 5 and then the x squared button. And then if you hit enter, it'll give you 25. But let's say you want to do 5 cubed or some other power besides squared. There is a little button over here that takes any number to any exponent you enter. So if I wanted to do 5 to the power of 3, I would press 5 to the power of 3, and then it would give me 125. I wanted to show you there's another version of the 84 graphing calculator. It looks exactly the same, but sometimes when you enter things, it'll look a tiny bit different. So I wanted to show you. So let me turn this one on. This time, if I wanted to press 5 to the power of 3, notice that you don't see that little caret button. It really looks like the exponent of 3, and that's fine. You can hit enter, and it'll give you the same thing. All right. So now I want to show you how to do square roots. Let's say I wanted to square root 36. Okay, so above the x squared button, there's the little radical sign or the square root sign, And since it's in blue, be above the button. Again, we have to press second. So we're going to press second, and then that will access our square root. And then you can type in any number, like let's say 36, and you can hit enter, and it'll give you 6. Now, if you have the other version of the graphing calculator, this one, if you do the square root of 36, again, if I press second and then this x squared button, which will give me the square root, it looks a little bit different. But it gives you just the square root symbol, and then in parentheses, you enter the number. You can close the parentheses if you want, and then hit enter. It just looks different, but it does the exact same thing. All right, lastly, I wanted to show you, sometimes you make mistakes, and instead of retyping everything all over again, there's some cool ways to make it easier to edit. So let me clear this, and I'm going to type in some random bunch of numbers and operations. Okay, so let's say I entered all this work and this was my answer, and then I realized, oops, I made a mistake. That first number 5 should have been a 6. But instead of typing everything all over again, there's a cool feature where you can recall what you just entered. So you can press second, enter, and if you do that, the exact same work pops up, but now you can use your arrows to move back to the front and just type over the 5. And we're going to go right on top of the 5 because that was our mistake, and I'm going to press 6 instead, and now you can hit enter from wherever you are, and then you'll get the right answer. Sometimes you just want to delete something in the middle. Let's say I didn't want to multiply by 8 at all. I just want to completely remove that. So again, if you press second and then enter, you can just remove the times 8 by pressing this delete button right here. So that just completely removes it. Now it's gone, and you can hit enter, and that'll give you a brand new number. All right, that's it for Calculator Basics. If you have any other questions, you can always email me. And I will make more videos later. Bye.